Joe Emma Martina say, aha, I have TV so. And Ray, a Cassia, ya to drink at prime time, and a brass song. Say a king kind, I just some more, some I have one more free and some trap for so. Move out to the boss, and was on a so project. And I'm a pest my comfort, yes, you bring me a say a baby. I just some more, don't sure back when them give it your cotton. Na Farmers Service Center, they be can cry. One more be a farm plains, a poem mountain. I buy essay seat before I can one my book and research allowance. No, when you need if you want to say, I can't take no at work. Ghana Armed Forces, so may I start from Edgeman, yes, and I know recruitment exercise. You know, when you're a nipa and pim near you are a kind, one more air for set training us. My other share, dear, so you know, a full binum a camp. Inina di ka edi share edit and ray ya backing kind. Meeting at the AFIA chum work at you.
Obrempong akwesi yaboa. Abusiyama yenhye kase na se na yemfa munchiremu hodo nyina emfa ensomo na se yehya ase de a yehya ase e de free his excellency John Dramani Mahama Ghana yemma mpanyin asoye enei wagina simpie so e de atodwa se Ghana hanom nyina wo bebo modern pa na Farmers Service Center ene wonom bebie pa e wo my Ghana ha na dodo be se aduonum na wonom ebebie se de be ya ebeboa ama akuafo wonum eho asan aso won akwankro na aboa wonum awo wonjimadi ahodo pii ya wodie mu anoti his excellency John Dramani Mahama de tuja no kire mu se de edikan kura wokọ akobie wode aso ekobofom na wahyaase asi awo Afram Prince Eastern region eho na wode ekosisyeso ewo honum anoti yenhwe ni mu kwan se eba na enche.
Going to cut the sod or break the ground for the first Farmers Service Center this Friday at the Afram Plains. Government intends to build 50 of these centers nationwide in the main agricultural producing areas. The first phase will cover 11 centers, and I'm breaking ground for the first one on Friday at the Afram Plains. Farmers will be required to register with their local Farmers Service Center, and they would get mechanization support in terms of tractors, plowing, harrowing, transporting, fertilizers, and shellers for processing their grains, and many other support. They will even be giving training at these agriculture centers. There will be extension officers who will give them advice on their production. The future of agriculture must also respond to the realities of climate change, population growth, and global competition. And this means that we have to invest in technologies that improve productivity sustainably, reduce post-harvest losses, expand irrigation and water efficiency, strengthen climate-smart farming, and improve traceability and standards for export. Food security and export growth are not competing objectives. A productive, technology-driven agricultural sector can feed our people, supply our industries, and generate precious foreign exchange for our economy. If Ghana is to succeed in this transformation, every stakeholder must play his part. To our farmers, you are not the last link in the development chain. You are its very foundation. To our entrepreneurs and manufacturers, continue to build and scale solutions made in Ghana for Africa. To our young people, agriculture is not a sector of the past, it is one of the frontiers of our future. Today's agricultural sector needs engineers, software developers, data scientists.
Yeah, to also ewo apomudimo osofo sha apomde ho nsem so kwabnamenta akando ede kokoboya emudro ede ama principals a won mo edida nursing and midwifery training colleges ahodo ano ewo my Ghana mu no o kyerese enipa dodo eho emra mpanimfo ahye se no enesese suku bia eje no wo mo fanya adwuma sa pepepe na suku ahodo ya abayama wo mo tumi krata se won mutimi ye nursing and midwifery training no ena wode quota ama wonmo esese wo bia edi so anamo a wonmo etoi eye de womo ede eba se de beya kane animonyam ya na ewo nursing ene midwifery training colleges ahodo mu no ebesan aba bia mu no omanfo enya aban no mu arehyimu enti wo ye principal na ye wadwene se aban quota wode aba no wo befa abroso a ene wodanta wasnemu ma kwablamenta akando ede sansem nyina tudwa ebra one more power advisory board ahodo ano ede ama nursing and midwifery training colleges ya ewo my Ghana mu an.
So quotas are based on certain factors: the strength of the faculty, the number of tutors you have, the facilities you have in the institution, and so we just don't give quotas. Understand? So if you are asked to take a specific number and you take over and above that number, what it means is that quality delivery is going to suffer. And we think that everybody must strictly adhere to whatever the regulatory agencies will determine, whatever the ministry will determine, so that you don't give admissions based on your parochial interest. No. And so we make sure that, and this I emphasize, we make sure that the institutions will admit according to their capacity. We will never allow any institution to admit beyond the capacity.
What about those principals who fail to adhere to this?
They will be subject to the sanctions. I mean, to disciplinary actions. And I'll give you a typical example. At the moment, about 2 of them are on suspension. 2 of them are suspected. I remember the Naregu one and one other. So there are some of them that are also going through the due process. We will have to write to you, query you, we respond, and if your response are urgent, and if they are not, we take disciplinary actions like this.
How many institutions are there?
Oh, the whole country. The whole country. So we are inaugurating the whole simultaneously. So we have one center at Chamali, and we have another center in Kumasi and this place. So this place is
advisory board Emma nursing and midwifery training colleges in Kwan and there was for no aye ho adwuma wasan apa bejaku aye board da wonum ebehye training health institutes awodo also ewo my Ghana mu na wode akwankyere papa ama wonum afei wo mu dada adwumadi obehye se ehun tutu enyina betumi akoso wano na bra wo pa wo mu hontuma wie ye no wose we ye monyam hyekase aban dem ma wonum esan eye asodie nti wonum enhye se wode ensi ye ebeye adwuma aboase de ebeye health training institutions awodo ya wo mu so etete apomden adwumaefo ewo Ghana ha no wo mu dwumadi ebefa ne ntuma pa efra.
First, the ministry is deepening its focus on specialized nursing and professional training. So this is a clear policy shift. Government is not only opening and building nursing training institutions, but what we are doing at this point in time is to concentrate on specialties. on the specialties. We all know that we have introduced what we call Mahama Cares, with dedicated funding on the treatment of non-communicable diseases. There's a huge gap with regards to the professionals who will help in treating these diseases. And as government, our policy must address that gap. And so those of you, especially opinion leaders who are demanding the establishment of nursing training colleges in your constituencies and in your inaugurated advisory boards, your appointment carries both honor and responsibility. You are entrusted with an important governance mandate at a critical time in the development of our health professional education in our country. The goal is to provide oversight, guidance, and strategic support to ensure that these institutions are managed efficiently, responsibly, and in the national interest. You are not to go and share the office of the principal with him or her. Please, let's be guided. Thank you. In this regard, allow me to emphasize 3 expectations. First, uphold good governance through the transparency, accountability, and prudence in the management of institutional resources. Second, champion quality by supporting academic excellence, high standards, and continuous improvement in teaching, practical training, professional conduct, and students' welfare. Third, remain guided by purpose, always remembering that behind every administrative decision are the lives of students and the well-being of the many Ghanaians who will one day.
Abusia yetu akasia ne so ede amaode a Ghana ban abo amane se de be ya beboa ama uba o my Ghana hanom a wo bibia ebetumi use internet na aboa ama ye nioma hodo enkita ho ahodo a yedi no wo entintan fidie so atimi agina brane no eno enam so bi ema wo bo amane se ene 40 constituencies ena wonum ebewuram na woboa ama internet no ebi aduru ba bia na wobia atumi di bi adijuma efise enaidie na nam abefu kwan hodo so ena di edijuma na yedidi enkita ho eno ti enayi Honorable Samuel Nate George edi nkomo ena wo kire mu se aban no ayire ne ho pa na woni telecommunications a wonu mo my Ghana mu ayire wonum tammu na waboa ama wo my Ghana enkuro nketua ne nkuro akese a internet no enho akọ atwe wo honum no waboa ama wonum so ensa atumi akabi.
We have given the contractor whatever payments are required for the release of the equipment to the various locations. So we are hoping that by end of second quarter, all of the sites will have been deployed. Again, let me be very clear, will have been deployed, which means that the sites would have been erected. And then we are also confident that by end of second quarter, we would have had them integrated with the telecom companies, the donor sites. Mr. Chair, as to the question of activation, that may go a bit further. And activation will be when you can then finally make a phone call, because like I indicated in my earlier submission, you may integrate, but it's not yet activated, because then you now need the community, the donor sites, the network to give you. Mr. Chair, if for the purposes of clarity, I've just checked my record. We're actually working. We are working in over 47 sites, 47 constituencies. Yes, and if Chair, you would allow me, I can just mention them quickly.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
We're working in the Bole Bamboy constituency. In Bole Bamboy, there are 33 sites. I won't go into the specific communities because that will take too much time. 33 sites in Bole Bamboy. In Sisala East, we are working in 10 communities. That request came from the MCE himself. We are working in 10 communities. In Yilo Krobo constituency, we are working in 1 community. In Jirapa constituency, we are working in 10 communities. In Doma West, we are working in 4 communities. In Kintampo South, which is what I'm answering here, even though the Member of Parliament asked about 6 communities, we are working in 21 communities there. In Awutu Senya West, we are working in 8 communities. In Gomwa West, we are working in 8 communities. Gomwa East, 5 communities. Coast North, 1 community. Chifo Atimokwa, 10 communities. Esukuma Odobin Brakwa, 5 communities. Setre Afram Plains, 15 communities. North Tong constituency, 15 communities. Bia West constituency, 5 communities. Krachi East, another 5 communities. Guan constituency, 15 communities. Pru West, 7 communities. Ho Central, 4 communities. Wasa East, 10 communities. Yape Kusol communities. Adaklu, 10 communities. Ebura Asebu, Kwaman Kese, 15 communities. Sisala West constituency, 29 communities. And that's my deputy minister's constituency. Shamar, and I see the Minister of Fisheries sitting behind me, 10 communities. In Ejumako Enyan Esiam, 14 communities. Wa West, 10 communities. Cape North, 10 communities. Nadoli Kalio constituency, 6 communities. In Birim North, 14 communities. Ketu South, 10 communities. Sene West, 3. Salaga South, 10. Awin, 6. Cape Coast South, 8. Commander Edina Eguafo, Ebirim, 10. Aguna West, 5. Ahanta West, 10. Bikum East, the Honorable Members constituency, 5. Kintampo North, 10. Lambusi, 5. Equiapim South, 5. Nkranza South, 10. Hohoi, 4. Uyani East, 5. Isujaman, 3. And in these communities, that is 421 sites. Then we have a number of sites in other constituencies that were specifically worked on by GIFEC, and include Bimbila. In Bimbila, we are working in 11 communities, your constituency, Chairman. In Akontombra, we are working in 3. In Krachi West, 2. Tatale Sanguli, 2. Tamale South, 6. Nantong, 5. Sagnerigu, 2. Mian, we are working in 6. Wulensi, we are also working in 5, bringing a total of 460 sites. So, Chair, you see.
Government Assurances Committee asetena ye ne won mo ye yase and we Sam George akobu na dwuma ho nkontai sa pepepe na opani ya wono na da Ghana Tertiary Education Commission ano eye GTech Yewra Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi wono so eko committee no animu enne na sma wode kwoto dwa no eye asem de wo ka nyina ne se atrechefo ya won mo kira de e wo teacher frontete e bia sitag na saying one more aye yechra ati etua hodo bebre ni nyina yo mu book and research allowances na ati akamu na aban emfa maye na so nei aban atua sika ni nyina amade na akamu 2023 so ye regira pochre se watua aka ho ebra wotena committee no anim no Dominic Nitiwo ya woka committee ne ho ebisa ne nsem ema ye regira po eyi ano ye hwe se de ekoye
1,500 United States dollars in the cedi equivalent, and that the Minister of Finance will give you the rate. Is that correct? And for research allowance is 1,600 United States dollars. That is per annum. Is that correct? Per annum, per person. So it's an individual is entitled to both. Is that correct?
So for teaching faculty and individuals entitled to both, that is about $3,100 cedi equivalent. The people who get the book allowance are the non-teaching, that is the GAWA. And in fact, this is one of the reasons why the colleges of education opted to be paid or placed as their colleagues at the university. So they are being paid $3,100 equivalent per year. Thank you, sir.
If what you are saying, I just want to be clear. What you are saying to the public is that if you are a teaching staff That's what we call lecturers. Is that right? Both at the universities and at the colleges of education, you are entitled to both. That is the book allowance and the research allowance. The current rate is $3,100. Is that right? You are paid for all of them.
Exactly, sir.
And the non-teaching staff are only entitled to book allowance. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You have also paid that one.
Yes, sir.
So essentially for 2024-25, you don't owe anybody.
You don't owe anybody. And 2023-2024, which was the issue of contention that got the CTAC people to on strike, which I believe informed Dr. Samuel's question, has also been paid, 41 million. Thank you, sir.
So there was some back payment of some 2023-24.
Exactly.
It amounted to some 43 million
41
cedis.
million.
Is it dollars or cedis?
Cedis. Yes, sir.
And that has also been cleared.
Yes, sir.
So essentially, as far as we are concerned, 2023, 24, 24, 25, it's all been cleared.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no problem at all.
Okay. Thank you. Colleagues, please.
Yentwa kasiane so emfamao emfamfri Ghana Armed Forces wonu aso ye enche pi ene AFIA etwa mu ana wonu bie akwanya edeto ho se Ghana mobunu emrantie ne maba ya wonu ewo pepa se wosum se asojafo wo man mu no wonu mra na wo mapiki form so ene dodo na ene kofa bie eno enam so bi ema wo kaye a elwak sanso ena baba ya Sports Stadium ene yoma hodo pi nu a ene kobo wonum kobo pi so ebo honom a efrimu ebaye enei wonum ebo amane na amanebo a wode ba ekire se enipa empem mienu ana aban na makwan na wonum akra wo se wonfa wo mu enkohyase na wonye training ene wonfa training ntete ya pa enfa ma wonum we ayedi edikan first batch eno no that's 2000 ena wonum ede efra wo mu na wotu nsa ede afra wonum aka kire won say wotina 18th March ya Wednesday ane wa ya fra wo bia wonim ho eno ti for wani kire mu abo regional center ya wotuzu ye no eho ena wode wani betire mu na wakoje appointment letter eno ti ye bo amane akire mabunu ya mo ankasa munim se ya fa wo a wonim ho wonum asende mu messages ahodo a eka ho eno ti wode wani akire mu a 9 AM pepepepepe anopa nonkono na wode wani akire ho regional center bia na wakoje appointment letter eni de ekeka ho transporters wa abeboa ama wonso watimi atoto nioma ahodo a wohia na aboa ama wonso entetea bia ya wokro no watimi oniama atimi asisi so yie na ogina brani said de beya wobetimi abesom omanyi na wasom omanyi sompa eno eka ho bi ama wobo amane se nipa no nwotwe ya wonum elwak bukopiem wo hono mu a stampede ya ebo ekoso ewo hono mu no enipa ahodo a won ho kan ye no wanyina wafa wonum ede aka ho 18 ena wafa wonum sanso ena sabi wona ehwere won kra enkwa no wonso won fiefuo abusua wafa enipa enum ede afiri honom ya wono nso womuka 2000 ya wofra womu se womumra magin titiye no onom eka ho sanso ena wogusua ebo amane kire mu se ukopie mu a de aka nyina ebesan ba we ye de edikan wonum aye no 4 batches batches nkoa enan enti we aye de edikan na wobo amane kire mu se wobekosoa afa nipa hodo pi no a ano nti obi biada enka na koma enfa ento ne yam se watimi akoya medicals na wapass nkoa de a ene batch no wonum befa mo pa wobefa mo nyina ama bibia so atimi akoso wosan ekire mu se enchaye Ghana ewiemsen ya ekohwe wo ma empanimfo ehwere won kwa ewo man Ghana mu no wona etimi aboaye ewo sikaman asantemantamu emabunu ne emrante ahodo a wote won ho gu mu akoboa sesa amu no ene ho niam nyina wonum so eka ho bi wobefa wo mu nyina ewo soja adwumanim se de beya wonum baba besom oman Ghana se oman asrafo na aboa ama bambo mu ayire ewo oman Ghana mu we ayamanebo ya efri Ghana Armed Forces wonu maso ye eba na Mame Veronica Ajo Ahen ena nensa ehye kratai ase
Edom kuma ya wo Ghana mrahye bedafie ese wo bo amane no atwe aban adwene esiso se Ghana esuafo dodo no ya wo mo eda aban si achiban so na wo hwe won mo sukuu kwa no wo amanone na ho na wo gye won tete ye scholarship student ni bi no enkraya won mo anya ene se dodo no na wo mo sukuu fees aban emfa nkoye enkotu a yenti aka suapon ahodo a won mo mu no amampanimfo hye se wa ma wo mo na wo twe pepepe se won ma amaya metua sika no a obeyi won modi afri sukuu no manu achi obese deporto e de wa bedru o my Ghana na sasemi e na minority se ebe ha adwene papa enti wo mo etwe aban no adwene esiso se ni manimu ya won hwe na wo mo abo sika no na school fees ya akamu nyina no won kotua se be ya Ghana asuafo a wo mo aban si achiban so esua de wa manone wo makoma ebeto won yem Alexander Afanyama no ye minority leader ene peja asemi e wo mrahye bejafi.
So Speaker, we want to present something through the majority chief whip to government that students on scholarship at Birmingham University, UK, they are not paying. Their fees have not been paid. The immigration authorities in the UK is threatening to deport them. They've been given 1 week to come back home. We would want to plead with you that if you can draw the attention of Scholarship Secretariat to remit their fees, because, Mr. Speaker, the UK government has some strict procedure and they have been crying. They sent a petition to us, and I'll give you a
Enti minority leader was saying Alexander Afanyama na uche sa wo bo amane se empanimfo entry scholarship secretariat adwene ensiso se enwesi aban ye UK government se de ekeka krono sika no amadia na wotwe esuafo no ebe fie na mampani John Dramani Mahama putu prunhia mu ya wo ye na wonam so ehye empanimfo edabambo agina tuku ahodo ano se won mo empeja enipa dodo a wo fa won madwuma mu e wo man bambo mu enkosi 40,000 no Alexander Afanyama achena dwene afa ho en wo se wo hawan kasa ya e wo sa recruitment exercise ni mu no enye de mampani akan e na ebe so ano ha no da so e wo ho na free 20,000 e ko 40,000 wo mfa nipa ni mu yu no de wo hunu ne se ebetimi aso ano.
Raise the fundamental concerns we've raised. Look, according to the minister, 506,000 bought the forms. They've already paid some 220 Ghana cedis for the forms. After that, they've gone through this AI-generated aptitude test that has failed a lot of people. And then I was quoting 200,000, but the firm report said, Minister said 105 people qualify for medicals. First of all, that number is questionable because there wasn't a fair system for qualifying people for medicals. So that is also another question mark. What it means is that some 400,000 people were denied the opportunity after the system had unfairly rejected them, after they had paid their money and traveled distances to have access to computer and then data to do that aptitude test. Now, with this increment, when I read the statement, the impression I got, in fact, the president is just adding 20,000, meaning that instead of 5,000 each year, they are now proposing 10,000 each year, making 40,000 for 4 years. But we're already in year 2, all right? Now, practically, what it means is that the 106,000 plus who have qualified for medicals, even if 20% should pass, the system cannot accommodate them because the system can only take 10,000. What becomes of the 90,000 is a question. Now you are going to take 1,600 Ghana cedis each for this basic medical test. Is that how much when you are going for your own medical checkup you pay? So you see, my colleague described it as a scam, and I couldn't have agreed more. The whole system lacks transparency. The whole system lacks a certain certainty in terms of the outcome. If somebody participates in the process, there is that legitimate expectation that the system would give a fair opportunity. It appears the presidency or the government is not listening. The government is not listening at all. And this sweeping statement of, they are increasing it to 10,000 from 5,000 is more or less a solution. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the problem.
Doesn't it create more jobs for others as well?
You've not answered. You've not paid attention to the details. What becomes of the 90,000 who would have paid 1,600 Ghana cedis and per?
Osahine Alexander Fenyamarkin, a minority leader, Mania Yina, Central Nia, Waton Crafty Ghana Mrashe de Fie, Nana Kwaku Bufa, and a day a bar, ye, Naso, near Mecca says who are Hajin Pratoya bar, the Betuaso.
Ma yema wa papa na yentoa so emfa kase no ensomo ye ka wo se okwie mu e Facebook a ene kase no etwagu pa e wo honom eno ti ubenya bi na wahye hye na obi nso enya bi enhye sa so ena akopie mu e wo YouTube nso a eno so etwagu e wo ho www.fatseonline.com eno so ebi gu honom yakutire gu honom a ubetumi enya bi na wakenkan yefo yani enkyere mu e wo edweso Asante Mantamu na enche ye enrada ye bebo wa mane se emabunu ya wonum eye MDC task force ebo ejeso akamon ho na wonhu abaka ne nyina asekire ne se National Health Insurance wonum office kese ya ewo honum wonum akamon ho akobram epono ya managing director ya bobo honum eho ena wodi ne juma no office no wonum akotum na eno nam so bi ema ye bopini wonum ebusa won se ede ankuranti ene kan wo mu a wonum akoto sa office nim de wo kire ne se Papabi na wonum de na base wo meye managing director wo mpɛ no omonim no omfiri jusu krom ho na baako na wo ho no wo transfer no de wo de na ba ne de wo mpɛ no ne empɛ ne kina wonim bra ejesu NDC task force wonum abre na eba se position abeda honum a na wo de man krofo foforo eno nti wonum de woni anye ho kura sei na wo kire won sem
say mohu ya ha ye na ye ejuso NDC tax force na mohu ya ha no kwai na enya body so esan say na ye wo manager e wo ha a health insurance manager ya promote na e de no call babi fufuro ye nim say NDC ejuso ha ye kunkode na ye ba power enti definitely mpanyimfo na omudi ani ma yakunkode no ye di bebre ebe hihye politics no wonso ahwe nkwala na omwofo ma omoye party mo adwuma no na omudi omo nso ahihye o na obi akoma to wiem na mom ye nka bi hyegu ye manager ko ye be ma ye nipa a oda ye nim a ofiri adwoso ha no yakofa obi efiri babi e de no abrɛ ye wo ha sebio ye operation bebre bisa adwoso ha ye ni krachini ya obetima health insurance ha ye wo bebre wa mpanyinfo na omudi ye de moya kunko de ma party no ba power no bebre o ha o betima di sa adwuma no na adenti na omo no gu ho ye ma omo appointment bia na ye kofo obi afiri baabi no krom ofiri baabi ofiri ba no
wasansem ya so ena anopa yi foche daybreak jumadie ya yedi no anopa kwadwo mafo etna adwam ena oto ahoma na wode frɛ lawyer Kwabena Boatin wono ena ye adweso emrahye bejani ena obusa no emrantia na montuo ya wotu ye no sepa ena ohu no den ena obeka ede afa ho
ndisi maguni se wo mo pe adweso ni ye to so mi no omo pe obi ofiri omo party no nti saa ne ma mi no we no mutina so a omo de ye de omo de ye na mi wa meka le pe se saa ne ma mi no we nyina no igina so chechire man ya enyi yi etichiru ne se mra se de ni ade esi mani so pa ne se Joseph bi nya adwuma itiru ne emmabudu enyuma eti bili how dia wo ho se adwusoni benya aban adwuma ye ewo edwoso in fact mani so ade hunu na ebeya ne de ebeya ma hohoaho a se adwusoni ena eda aban adwuma yiko no ano a ene na kire se ye di mu a eti asempa na so sabe o manya yetimi yede mra ena chechere uyi mra to nchen ya ya tanyina ye pasapa yam fan chechere mai manu yi eti ba ye na mi hwedi ena me se dedi enkomo ameguru yi ti enye enkomo e bebo aye kura na di dikan se ni Pose ye de na ba ho no wanye dwusoni enti watu no office mu ma ne nya adwuma ure fi se adwusofo bebre enso tetimpofo akuro so omo so ye adwuma enti omo so yenko pam wo mu firi omo office ana we ya friend fa keto abedi kesi o wa wi ya na wani akodi office ba ko achi no wa mi akọ pam wa de tie bebre afiri bebi omo so teti omo ye adwuma eti upe ukrobu ni ya eye kasa eye kasa de kasa lobbying ye beta say eye diplomacy bi nyina ye komo ye tin we chire wa funo ye tin wo dem ye fa meto abonten
Yento Kasiano Eso Ora Kwadwo Asante eye chirechire ni a wo trade ewo University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development USTED mu na wakamfo Ghana Private Road Transport Union GPRTU for papa ewo won mujuma wodie na brebia wo sigina ya enkonti adrobafo anasa Ghana fo efro ahyen enkamfo ya sinyina ene se enano ye beto dwasemra aban epeja fa ngobuomu na Ghana fo akoma ashase ebo periperi na ebinom nso no egugem kyerese wo peja fa ngobuomu pa enye dan adrobafo bepeja asentuade mu adrobafo binom ebebo ntrene se saa na ayede a ene wo mo nso ebepeja mu se beya ebeboa wo mo dada asetena eho no ana GPRTU mpanimfo ba mu no omode kokobo ema adrobafo no se ema wo mo empentam ntutumampom rika entu anamo bia na mom wo no ombekọ akohia na wajunjunu nyama ba ku mienu bi hu ekeka nyama si ani na hu kohia se wo mo peja asentuade mu na waye ne sa pepepe aseminti enene Kwadwo Asante eba daybreak jumadie so en wo se o na ni age GPRTU fo ho papa to da
possibility better put mu 99% transport no so you better to me because of say you got petrol na 10.14 liters and now 12.49 liters are then the same price Nigeria baba we be about price already mo benya income and I wo akọ na nim obehwe busua no ahwe ne gere ma no asave bi ti se ko ya ko se nkosi ko da kwada de a na for na se yankwa ma na aban ne ne nti se aban no and na ene de ka se se cars kan de so hwe no otum
GPRTU and I say what and the beba and sana yetimi enya sa opportunity atu say nisa authority bi ase bet mama ho so say yes is a free office the baba and because the very firm say unless say you say do sa percentage na e dada na nsa na opanyin mahama bae no say do what dia and abroad for them so say panyin for no omo akonya say omo tu ba say enye du sa and you dia baba ni bie no so chantim say friend about you me driver me go Ken University and me dey say get me to firm unless you do sa percentage na first na one answer na NDC for ba no answer be to say bia ya trade and you make my two be yen no dey 24 ala be to
wasan so lecturer awo KNUST abansi ahon no emu ne din ene Professor Elliot Granting Tano na yene no atwetwe nkomo no wokire mu se kura no enuro no mahodo no ados wo man mu dodo eno nti wo bo amane esrese enka yenhye yie na se enuro bi wo honom na yekofa anomu a esefota se yekọ ayasabia ema adokutafo ehye se aduro ya wonom no ne kwanso ana se na wose wonom no ana se aduro na wonom no kura no osefata se wonom sa aduro no ana ansa na yanom ano kokobo nsem a wode atudwa na wotire mu se de ekoso nyina enuro hodo bi wo honom nso a yanom mpo a sabi de yefra no expiring date no yenhye eno ansa yakofa na yanom obi wonom a na wode naduro asi ne dem ene yeda bia wo be yare bia no na wakofa sa aduro ni bi no wanom se expire sa expire ye ni nyina na bonum nom sei ana Professor Elliot Granting Tano ekano
and the one American church the mama them amapo ya omaji se omunti normally the advantage and you be say I can want them near sense subio na tiso amisisu na se mesra wara wutie ya se unhu edro bia na obi to edro bia ma wa offering edro na unnim nia ewo mu a mesra wo men no because here therefore crap ya to e bo ahwehwe nronimunim for the any side effect wo and so no can't yet drop mama na we are careful what me show be kwan mo be tia sa Nigeria ni omo monta kokoko so you more ya na we be there to go to say drobia ono mo e be say na we digidie artistica antof yare ama hu a hu and that hard you know. It's a pastor. I'm also very careful. Who nimedropia men no the yawa. Choir sabia ya yoni intimo. Na so wa would open and the cassette. Oh, for toy dropi wa baby no one nim because content are here in university realizing content na bibia ya also think here the money for makramanenum. In this year the money for mananum. And so I'm for Jessica. And unsuspecting people are almost will go ahead and take it. We need to advise a man for pastor who name a draw and
Pasa Tano Echo Swadi, Semni be etwasun, what you say, pa, will bet to me a case sopo. Now, what can Amaria na Ghana, Yenina Yati? Say, will be more my Ghana Hanmua, any kidney yadiano. Amani mu so pa, my Ghana mu. Ni titiri ni asante mantem mu ha eno nti esefata se obia hwe ne ho so yie se wobepie mu awo konfano chi aban ya asabia dialysis ya wono a wo kidney yade no yede wonum tuso no te se ye no kura no enso ashoto enti esefata se ye nyina ya bo ye hu modin na ye hwe ye hu yie se de be ya kidney yade no ebi MSI ye komu na ankofa oye nebi amfa amreye.
Oh, in fact, last week, near friend World Kidney Day, I'm saying to see what they can't kidney home some. And the top one, one to be and now think will be a well one year cost on the top and say kidney area cost of the minister, Eddie numbers, Libertuka, Minister of Health, over 4 million people in Ghana, and only a data of some work, which we're happy the minister also mentioned. Among 4 Yariana pa. Ya bre komfanochi ya dialysis machines and so yeah now so they are no machines. So we want to stop it. Now you to be able to do the right things if you are stopping. And then here come. We be 30 years and above, our own share will kidney and one and die. Put you on medema one is would you me and they are repeatable lab in a catch so what they say. Prof kidney home and all yes check on my ama on my show Johnson buta so what Dr. B and P and to be church or what here again, now you check in on your don't be a come on, go on with your life, the healthy life that you are living. But checking out and what they know for months, then you are refreshed. And they are in wooden tama and you see me so no do one now almost man temp banana catch. Now who not be a come on, some maybe sanitary area also and I will bush you and now pressure was for an air bush you now pressure was for an area also. Pressure and the enemy said dog supply. In fact, Ghana had about only family and Sambia about 18. A move back on our pressure. It's very common. And a pressure is not that decade area so papa. It is a pressure also. I think the answer over no what to so. In fact, me a story be almost more banne in China DC job to be honest, it's who you many papa because in China man for dinner at DOS already a in room. Now so got now on so what I was so kakre woman in China and the pressure and the pressure not so bad. Editing the area so yeah there but really year pa.
Enro any ensanom ho kokobo ya mpanimfo de si wani so na wo hwe se omanfo apomde enkwada esanmu yi na atwe fache kase ensem trefo IC emontene so ebisa temamufo sa so wo adaje a wo to ade e de free shop max anasa obi a eso no bodwa ni bia ho a wo hwe expiry date adekro no a wo to no date a ewo ho se wo anasa daso a eye adwuma said ya beya wonkodi edubani bia nkwo widie mu na mfa wo haw emrewo dodo ono ase wo muni adaje ya wode ekwohwe expiry date wo bi so si nipa no wo ton ade no wo ginidi wo woni mu arehemu se won ton ade fon ema no ene binom so etu fo se expiry date hwe ne hia pa said ya beya wonkofa bibi ya eni kwansa wodi ko widie mu enkofie na daache emfa wo haw bia emrewo eno sei na koy
expiry date me check that me didi wi as me di ade no wi anase me no ma ade no wi a ma to ade na atwene wi bia e wo hol ma na fa makase bia ma me fa na me ready content no me to ade nkase bia ma me check expiry date as we bisa. I've never done that. Ade na me ko to say e me se me no nti me check e ka me se me ready bia ma no ma ade na wi na afie move me se me fa na me ready se ma ko to ade na ma se ma me nya abotre na me comment me o bro me yes
I told them we share spelling date. My dream coho. Me just say my dream was a spelling date. But I drew the Amekoto yam spelling date. And the meter dinner the end yana. My dream coho. I feel my dream much my dreams is when yes, I may yenisa. And yes, I may yenisa. I said, more kind of even a Komikota, I'm a spelling date. Many Americans will be a Kotada on spelling date. Yeah, everybody, no money now, fees and your manu. Yeah, I dream coho, say with Betty Mercy, so not, and I'm no so never be actually. Until me two be able so Kotadia on her spelling date. If you never commission measure spelling date.
Oh, Penny. Whereas me and I never take his spelling date. Maybe no one never met him, but I'll check him one here. Name Ghana party almost been independent to 5%. And I thought their party check it spelling date. Una daji and kwede ba ko pe ka fe na ma bi twantro sadi mu tara ni tum ubu ko ma mi jofwe ubu ma mi jofwe adi ku fo ma yeto o tara na to basket na won ko na be take spine day no ya sure Ghana pa we be 5% be take spine day and that possible me what I kra
I say usually we check and then if they approve there we check that one as well. No, maybe sometimes when you buy the product maybe sometimes you need to check. And that's why we usually check to see whether it has expired or not. So if it is expired, you need to return it back. But after sometimes, at this moment, we don't check it like that. Sometimes, for me, to be frank, I am addicted to some energy drinks. So if I buy, even if I don't check even if I don't check the expiry date, but the taste will change. So that's why I will know that this particular product is no more good for consumption.
Oh, me check it pa.
Denti na check it.
Oh, so denti am check it. Se bia na tamu adidi na pa ho. Nti ni kwa se me to na me kodi na bibia dai. Konya yare bia na bibi ewo ade amakoto no anachi. Obia okoto ade bia bo modern hwase no se nchemu anu ahwe na se wo hwe de expiring date no anu ahwe beta wo hwe na ohuna. Wetin dey busa storekeeper and say madam we know bibia mu se apa ho anase mpa ho nti wa koto bibia no so hwe se wetimi a check sa nema no
titiri kwa na se omo bodonkomi mani wo so pa because me ni say ade ya asai eno mo ta de badwa so be donkomi eti spine date de ehu hia pa to ade no kwa first
wa hwe na kire se enye nipa nyina na expiry date ehu hia wo mo me de hia me pa Obrempong you guilty ana
oh expiring date ne de ya check kakra but say one street mu na auto ade wo obi ho ne de ye check you drinks and one say what na won na come do
ene na ye de ye kokobo ama ye nyina ye hu se free sabre ko no ye to ade bia ye nhwe se be check expiry date free se wonim de wudi akwa wedi mu wo ha ya ede bebro abusua enwumre kase ede be so mo na ha de nyina AC Millennium Construction to nsafra se abranti ababa wa wasi so opesa wo ye ejapade bi da ache na nchirima ebenyini ebeto a asase na apesa woto a fa ho ebedom wo be pa asase ni bia to ama wo se de ne kase etie bia ne ba bia wo pe no Millennium Construction bedi wa kagina musa wa asase ni bi dada na bibi nti wo pesa woto na de sika ne ya de fofra fa kwasha won no sade won ton ma wo fie ye dream house a wo pesa wo sisi wa asase so no Millennium ne contractors a what me see dreams e man be reality was higher real estate development and nti ebia now propagated community and answer efie ya will be esie na wato atenemu a Millennium Construction be som mo sapepepe adansie ho niema pillar molds any blocks ne afoforo pii so eno moton yanko Kumase Boshen na Yas Junction ni ani adwumako impanifo nkoto kesefa numbers no go screen so na fre sesi ya manugu so ameka se wo fra mpanifo beje so construction ho hanko na eja okoda na Millennium na ebeje so wamada roman anwumre ya beso mo makenkan fo ye me AFIA tum wa Kaakyire mene
Obrempong akwasi yehoa
ebusia ebeda mu nyina sene de mosi ha obo ade de ochne wuko edum ye ne ano nsia pepepe news flash ebeba makwam yedase
Nadie mikura nenu die mudru mama fache de ranu tsunami bom frasum die mama fache de ranu tsunami bom frasum die fache TV yedi asumbe na mo fache TV abaki tabara bom ni asitina ba your number one station it's all about entertainment
Fache TV Fache na ye free
Before Amosheme, Medindi Dr. P.K. Usa Meda Grace Faito Clinic and Medical Diagnosis Solution, Yewo Kumasa Brepo Highways and Accra, so Yewo Kwabinyata Station. Grace Faito Clinic, your speciality Ankasa Aye, Awo, Enemu Yare, Enemu Johnson Tentem so. Intibata Sauti Mines and worry more than 1 year, 2 years since I won him back. Mestre Semumino in our mobile Grace Faito Clinic, Nayasha Abuamu. Debiano because a doctor many who can eat down in sooner Babontan, Unia Ba Wutimi. In Suba Bontan, and no interest a young one a problem free work. Beman who Suba for me no to me manebasa. It's Pato your banner Wutim, Debia Mikasa D see a won't quite fire infections. Abuni because a sexually transmitted infections. A nemu ya rinti or Honwasaki was such a show.